The US Secretary of State has made a surprise visit to Pakistan in an effort to salvage its shaky anti-terror alliance with Islamabad. In talks described as unusually frank, Hillary Clinton said the US was even more committed to Pakistan after Osama bin Laden's death. But she asked Islamabad to take decisive steps to defeat al-Qaeda. Here's North American correspondent Craig McMurtry.
Handshakes in Islamabad, but also signs of tension. Because of security, Hillary Clinton flew in with no advance publicity. 3.5 weeks after the US raid on the bin Laden compound, the US Secretary of State says the relationship is at a turning point. She went straight into a meeting at the presidential palace with a grim-faced President Zardari and Pakistan's military chiefs.
They were quite emotional in conveying how they would have gone after him if they had known he was there.
She was accompanied by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Admiral Mike Mullen told reporters that the US had taken a risk with the relationship to preserve secrecy for the bin Laden raid.
But now is not the time for retreat or for recrimination.
Seeking to repair relations, the Americans offered an olive branch.
There is absolutely no evidence that anyone at the highest levels of the Pakistani government knew that Osama bin Laden was living just miles from where we are today.
At the same time, the US also wants Pakistan's leaders to do more to counter anti-American sentiment in their country, more support for reconciliation talks in Afghanistan, and the Obama administration is calling for a crackdown on insurgent safe havens in Pakistan.
There is still much more work required, and it is urgent.
It's the first high-level US visit to Islamabad since the Navy SEALs raid. It coincides with the CIA being granted access to examine the compound. Despite attempts to smooth over their differences, Washington remains suspicious that Pakistani intelligence and military units are cooperating with extremist groups. And Islamabad is still unhappy. There's been no retreat from its demand for a reduction in the number of US personnel in Pakistan. Officials say they're still working through the details. Craig McMurtry, ABC News, Washington.